Hey, it's Mike from 424recording.com. Today's video, we're going to master a track for a viewer who sent me a track a while back and asked me to master it. Ben, this one goes out to you. So Ben sent me a track a while ago and I was planning to use it for one of the mastering videos that I did a while back for making that cheddar. If you haven't checked that series out, it's a pretty fun one, the Fall Song Challenge. Basically, I just made a hip hop song because I felt like it and because it was fun. But so a couple of you guys had reached out to me a while back again about mastering and a mastering workflow. And I'm going to show you right now how I would go about mastering my own stuff and things I've learned over the years for mastering. I do want to say a disclaimer that, mastering is often thought of as this mysterious, magical process that makes all your tracks sound better or sound louder or, makes them all work together well. And yeah, it's a process. I wouldn't say it's magical or mysterious. It's important to have somebody else master your stuff sometimes, but if you're on a budget like most bedroom musicians, or if you're on a zero budget, you have to figure out how to do this stuff for yourself, and it's totally within your grasp to learn how to do it. So this is just going to be a brief, quick video of mastering Ben's track that he sent me. So thanks, Ben. I'm glad I finally got around to doing this for you. So this will just be a quick run and gun style master. We're going to be shooting from the hip, so try to keep up.
Find a song to master to. Find a professional track that you think sounds like what you're going for, or is in the same genre, or just has a sound that will work with your own track. The reason I'm doing this is because I don't know what a professional master sounds like. I need something to reference Ben's song to so that I can determine if Ben's song is loud enough, or Ben's song has proper EQing, or basically need a mastered song to compare Ben's unmastered song to so that I know what I should be going for, what I should be aiming for in the moves I make in terms of EQing and compressing the song. So I chose Queen Bitch by Bowie, which is on my computer from the 70s. Doesn't have a wah guitar in it like Ben's track does, but it's a good reference in terms of the decade and in terms of the style of music that Ben is going for, I think. I just dragged them both into Logic and then I'm just A-B'ing them, really. I don't think I can really play Queen Bitch because of copyright stuff, but boom, you already have a frame of reference for the visual of it. So the next thing you're going to want to do is just A-B the track, so then you can hear, okay, here's where the volume should be, here's about where the bass should be, here's about where the mids sound good and the highs sound good. Does my track have enough highs? So this is what I determined from listening to Queen Bitch and comparing it to Ben's song. Here's Ben's song without having made any mastering moves on it yet. This is the unmastered song he sent me. So this is what the EQ curve of a mastered song looks like, because Queen Bitch is a mastered track. So if we compare that with Ben's song, we can see that down here, there's not a lot of high end. And maybe his low end is a little bit, it looks pretty good, but it might be a little bit, it looks like the Bowie song is rolled off a little bit more here. I could definitely hear that. There's more lows in that area, sub 50. And then I would say here, he looks like he needs a little bit of mids. Here there's a little bit of information missing from the spectrum. So this is the moves that I made to his song. As compared with the Bowie track. So you can kind of see that I tried to bump up some of exactly what I just explained, I tried to even out. I went with these songs and said, okay, well, took out some of the low end, below 50, to give it more of a rounder edge to it. I took out a little bit of the highs at 100, or 75 rather, just to smooth it out a little bit. I bumped up the mids here, the low mids. Took out a little bit of this was like the wah guitar right here. You can hear it. That's where that lives. I don't know where that was, 1 maybe? And then I really boosted the high end, which is something I don't like to do as much, but given the track, I figured, hey, I had this up a lot more too, up to 24, but I just felt like it was getting a little too crispy. I didn't want it to be too out of control, but so I'll bring it back down. I think that at 18. And then here I just took out a little bit of this, I don't know, that whistle frequency was kind of bugging me, so I took that down a bit. But so that's your first move, I think, with mastering. And then we're just mastering a single track here. Grab your EQ and compare the EQs to the professional song, so you can kind of see, okay, this is about, and I guarantee you, any song you bring into here is going to have a very similar picture here of what it looks like in the EQ curve. Let's just A/B Ben's song really quick with the changes and without them, so we can just hear what the difference is. Okay, that's no EQ, and then here's EQ. No EQ. EQ. So this is what I got for Ben's song now with the multipressor on it. Here's with it off. On. It's very subtle. So it's pretty subtle. I just wanted to use it to compress Ben's song a little bit, not too much. You can really smash stuff if you want to, but I like to use subtle moves. I think it works out better in the end. So how does this thing work? Well, so I think the best way to show you is just do another one. We'll turn the other one off and just add another one. So basically this is a multi-band compressor. And what it allows you to do is compress different areas of the frequency spectrum rather than one compressor that would just compress the entire song. This is going to allow us to compress different areas of that song or different areas of the frequency spectrum. So basically there's 4 compressors going on here. One that's going from 20 to 160, 160 to 1100, 1K to 7500, 75 to up to 20. All right, so first things first, I kind of like to use this as almost like a 2-knob compressor. There's a lot of stuff going on here that I think for the sake of quick and dirty, we're not going to get into. But the best way to think about this is just as a 2-knob compressor. We're going to leave the ratios where they are, which is good. You know, it's good enough. It's 2 to 1. So here's what you do. Play it. If you want to hear what this one is going to do, you can solo it. So that's just the low end. And then you can pump this. Obviously it's peaking, so take it down a little bit. All right, so what I like to do first, and it might be counterintuitive, I like to set the threshold first. And that's this little guy, but I just do it from here. So the threshold is where the compression is going to kick in, where everything above that threshold is going to be compressed by this ratio. What I like to do is bring it down until you get some movement here. And now you can see as we're compressing it, we're losing about, I don't know, we'll say about 5 dB a gain. So we're going to use the gain makeup to make up that gain. All right, so now let's take a listen to what we're doing here. We'll solo this, and then we'll bypass it. You can really hear it on the bass. You know, we're just doing a subtle bit of compression on it. Make it pump a little bit. And then I would just go and do this for each of the ranges. I would adjust the threshold first until you get some movement. Because like I said, we're just using this to subtly compress each range. And then again, I would say we're going to be losing about 5 decibels gain, so we're going to pump it up. We're going to make it up. All right, so there we go. We got a little bit of something going on. And again, let's just A-B that really quickly and hear the difference. All right, on. And off. On. Off. On. That's a quick and dirty explanation of the multipressor. I advise you to experiment with this and check out what you can do with it. It's a very powerful tool. This is literally scratching the surface. Tip of the iceberg, as they say. Alright, so the final part of the quick and dirty mastering is some sort of a limiter so that your song doesn't breach 0. Because once you start breaching 0, that's when you're going to start hearing digital distortion. So let's hear what I did here and then I'll explain what up. On. Off. On. Off. So anything that's going to peak above 0 is going to be pushed down by the limiter. It's going to be, peaks are going to hit that and then be pushed down so that they don't breach 0. Because as I added this gain, I'm adding gain to the peaks as well. So anything that's peaking above, because the song is kind of dynamic, would be clipping or distorting. But with this adaptive limiter now, I've added a volume while making sure that it doesn't breach the limit of 0. So anytime you see this going into the yellow, right there, that means that the song is peaking above 0. So this went over 0 by 0.2 and this went over 0 by 1.9, which is 2 decibels really. By having adjusted this gain, I've adjusted the peaks that are now peaking at this section of the song. And where you can run into trouble with this is if you adjust it too much, you could start to really hear the limiter. We're able to raise the overall volume of the track, keeping the peaks tamed with the outceiling. Right there. That 0.8. Right here. Boom. I would use a channel EQ to get your song sounding and I guess looking like the track you've chosen to master to. This song Queen Bitch is not super loud, but again, I think that it suits the song and you can make this stuff as loud as you want. There's always a way to make things louder, but with making things louder, you're going to be losing dynamics. Ben's song now is not the loudest song in the world, but it can hang with recorded music. Obviously, this is a multi-step process. You're probably going to want to do it a couple times, let it sit, come back, listen again, try to adjust some things differently. You're going to want to listen to it on multiple sound sources and different headphones and different types of speakers in your car. You know, what I'm showing you here is just a quick way to get your levels up or a quick way to approach mastering. You know, but if you're just looking to put some stuff out on your Bandcamp or online and you're not looking to spend a ton of money, you know, teach a man to fish, you know. So I hope that gives you a basic idea of mastering, what it entails, possible workflow for you. I think the biggest thing is check out a song that's similar to the song you're going to master and A/B it in your DAW. That's going to be the biggest hack to getting better at mastering, because then you can hear what something that is professionally quote unquote mastered sounds like and what you can aim for, a goal for you to achieve. One final thought is people aren't going to listen to your songs because they're not loud enough. They're probably not people you want listening to your music.
This is Mike from 424recording.com. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, you nerd. Godspeed, my friend. Go try your hand at mastering yourself. Let me know what you find or what you don't find or questions that you have. Peace.